Hey guys, Akio Murasaki here. Today we're going to be talking about Code Vein 2, which is going to drop on January 3rd of this year. And unfortunately, it's not looking very good for the game so far. So if you look at the reviews here on Steam, they're mostly negative. We're talking about the reviews for the character creator demo that's been released recently so that people, get a taste of how their characters would look like in the game. And of course, flex their beautiful outfits and sexy designs. But unfortunately, it doesn't seem to be all that great looking, to be honest. When I looked at some of the female characters, they're very, very stylized. I have this, unusual feel to them. There is a certain art direction that kind of makes all of the characters. Someone used the comparison to Tokyo Revengers that just makes all of the characters look rather masculine, like this one here, for instance, the one playing the piano here. She looks quite masculine. This character also does not exactly look very feminine. The graphics, on the other hand, are quite nice, but if you look at the male characters, they look absolutely stunning. But then the female characters, so-so. But this is not all. There's been talks about censorship as well. The black spats of censorship are back, yeah. If you've ever seen the censorship discussion around Atelier Liliana, the mobile game that has been hit with very, very excessive censorship in the West, I don't even know why this happened. There was absolutely no reason whatsoever. But a lot of the outfits, a lot of the characters in Liliana, for instance, were very heavily censored. They had these very ugly spats. I would totally show you, but unfortunately a lot of the articles and a lot of the screenshots and everything were deleted off social media, and even the articles somehow are gone now, so I can't really show this. But that's at least what I remember from Liliana, and this is also supposedly the case with Code Vein 2, but this is not all. Obviously, you wouldn't be getting so many negative reviews if it was just the censorship. There's tons of issues wrong with the game currently, and we're just gonna go through some of the comments here on the Steam forums and the reviews as well to see what people are exactly saying and what is even going on. And of course, to answer the most important question, whether it's even worth investing in Code Vein 2 at all. So, this is one of the first screenshots I found. So someone mentioned censorship. I looked at the creations other people posted here on the forums, that doesn't look very censored to me, to be honest. But of course, people, when talking about censorship, they're talking about the censorship of skirts. So whatever you wanted to do with the skirts, where you wanted to look, it's obviously your personal business, but you can no longer do it. You're going to be faced with the black spats of censorship, sadly. Sadly, you Gunnar, you. But anyway, there's obviously more comments. There's quite a bit of people who have played the first game and enjoyed it, and they're just very, very confused, like this one here, about the general direction of Code Vein 2. What does this have to do with Code Vein? I watched the intro and I'm very confused. It seems like they've changed the lore and now it looks like very typical anime. The first one also looked typical anime, so what can I tell you? But yeah, there's apparently a bit of a change in direction when it comes to the plot, so it's not necessarily a direct sequel. It's a little unclear at this point, but so far it does not seem to be the case. Of course, the art direction borrows very heavily from the first game, but there's, as you've seen from the screenshot, there are quite some improvement, quite some changes as well, especially in terms of the style and just making everything a little more androgynous. But yeah, there are more comments, like Bumco disabled YouTube comments on all their videos. They didn't like the backlash from the censorship. That's of course not entirely true, as some people mentioned here in the thread that some of the comments are actually open. So this is, I don't think they're afraid, of people commenting under the video. But yeah, obviously they're going to be showered with downvotes and wild, quite some wild, horny comments from the players. If you've played the first one, I haven't, but I've read a little bit about the first game. It was meant to be sexy and edgy, and I was sort of expecting the second game to be exactly that, but simply better. No, that is unfortunately not the case from what I've seen so far. A lot of people are confused about the character creator, how the features work. Some people are complaining that you can't even add a ponytail, but that apparently went into the extensions. But there's other people mentioning, of course, that there's censorship, that there might be body type 1 and 2 or A and B. No, that is not yet confirmed. The only thing that's known is that some outfits will be available to all body types. But again, this is kind of like a Western market localization sort of thing. So it's not yet confirmed. When you create a character in the character creator, you select a silhouette. You don't select a body type. There's no A, B, 1, 2 so far. So this seems to be totally not a thing, so far at least. But let's see when the game comes out on January the 30th. I am 100% sure some people are going to buy it, and then people are going to, straight away simply refund it if it doesn't look good enough. But yeah, let's look at some of the comments. What is the reason for the censorship? We're going to get there. Let me see if I actually did surface some of the comments here. Oh, sorry, that comes later. The reason for the censorship. So if you're not aware, I really thought about this for a while. And one of the main reasons is, of course, the age rating. Someone pointed out, because right now it's quite very confusing, that the first game was actually rated 16 plus, and supposedly the second one, Code Vein 2, is rated lower than this. I'm not exactly sure whether this is the case. Let us have a look here whether we see any info about rating. No, it's actually 16 plus here. Yeah, so I don't necessarily understand what are we even talking about. At least here it's rated 16 plus with PGI, whatever. I'm sure in the US, for instance, also going to be 16 plus. So again, where's the teen rating? Also, as someone pointed out here, let me just see if this is Australia, mature audiences only, blame your government. And of course, someone raised a very good question here. Wuthering Waves, which comes on mobile and is available both on Steam and on PC in general, is rated lower, and it's rated for teens. And it has jiggle physics, which jiggle physics, you're not going to see jiggle physics in Code Vein 2, unfortunately. If you're looking forward to seeing some bouncy boobas, you're not going to see them sadly in this game. Yeah. But you can go play Wuthering Waves. I actually highly recommend. Amazing game, not glazing whatsoever. Probably even better than Code Vein 2, unfortunately, so far. So it's also Unreal Engine 5 from what I know. But yeah, but there's lots of comments here. Some mentions of body types, which is still not clear. Good luck with censorship. No jiggle physics. It's 2026. What are you doing? Interesting. The price tag, $70. That is horrible. Not gonna pay as much. The first one I think is for 50 or so. Yeah, get it at a discount probably, guys, because I don't really think it's worth it. So yeah, so some people are going kind of like, why is the game so lacking in fan service? Everything seems to be incredibly toned down, right? People are, what are we really doing here? And as I said, there are some rumors of trying to reach those teen audiences, but if the game is rated 16 plus, there's absolutely no reason whatsoever. And we're gonna look at some of the reviews here that, the character creator is downgraded, but of course, more importantly, let me see. Oh, sorry, not this one. Let me see actually if this is mentioned here. Yes. So someone points out, and I think quite accurately here, that the facial customizations are in general just awful. There are only 2 passable female faces and 7 ones that look butt ugly. You're gonna have to work quite a lot to get an attractive looking character. But there's been also some comments mentioning that since it's an Unreal 5 game, it's poorly optimized and you need a very strong PC. I have not tested this myself, and actually, now that I think about it, maybe I should try the character creator demo myself and see how it looks. But so far, yeah, it does not look good. People are not happy with how it looks. People who played the first game are in general not very much looking forward to the second one and are probably not going to shell out, $70 just to have a poorly looking character in a under-optimized games when there are so many other options on the market at the moment, like Wuthering Waves 1. Wuthering Waves, slip of tongue here. Or Code Vein 1, which you can still buy and play, which probably still give you a way better experience than Code Vein 2 would. Well, at least not for the $70 price tag. That's probably it from my side. I personally would not recommend right now playing Code Vein 2. I'm gonna have a look at it, maybe make another video or so. But otherwise, yeah, that's it for today. And yeah, stay tuned for more. See you guys. Mata ne.